Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to go over the fact that opposite movement is still movement. Even if you think nothing has changed, you feel like the same patterns are repeating with your SP, with whatever it is that you're manifesting, you guys, as long as you are consciously manifesting and you are not giving up, that is still movement. And that is something that you really need to understand, okay? Because a lot of you guys get bogged down because you're just like, okay, things were going straight, things were going, well, things were going great, but then something happened and they kind of started acting like their old self. So that's also one assumption that you have, oh, they're falling back into their old self, old patterns. So I mean, that's not okay. So that's one way to look at the situation, okay? But you have to understand that, you guys, that no movement, just opposite movement, whatever, it's all movement in the right direction. Again, given that you are still consciously manifesting, there's no way that you can fail. I know it can be triggering to see the same patterns happen again and again, but sometimes there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that you don't know, that you're not aware of, that you're not conscious of. And the best thing to do in that moment is to just keep going. You need to keep affirming and persisting until you get a consistent version of your desired manifestation, until you get that desired version of your specific person. And it will happen sooner than later, okay? If you keep spending time getting bogged down by, oh, this happened, that happened. And again, I understand you're humans. Do whatever you need to do to get through that. Take a nap, okay? I always love taking naps. I kind of just maybe going out on a walk, doing something to regulate my nervous system. I really do think taking a nap is a good way to do that. Don't fall asleep for too long, but just lie down in bed and kind of just calm yourself, calm your nerves, okay? Or do some EFT tapping, okay? Find what works best for you. Different people will like different things, okay? Do something to kind of just get your mind off of that thing, okay? I promise you, it's not the end of the world. I know your circumstances seem like the worst thing ever. There is not a single circumstance in this world that cannot be overcome. And a lot of the times, you guys, you don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes, okay? So my point is, opposite movement, I've seen a lot of times, okay, this has happened in my own life, in my own world, that I saw opposite movement. I'm like, okay, this is never happening. And then my SP conformed, and then that thing happened, okay? When I was applying for jobs, you guys, I got rejection after rejection. Companies ghosted me. One fine day, I got a phone call. Actually, I missed this. It even went to voicemail, and they called me again, saying that, hey, you got this job offer. And I low-key even forgot that I even put in an offer. I mean, I was still applying for jobs everywhere, but I was I was kind of, you guys, hopeless, okay? I was actually thinking of joining a boot camp, even though I had a full degree up my sleeve. I was still in school when I got my job offer, but I'm just oh my gosh, I think I have to do a boot camp. To do, I need to do whatever it takes for me to get this job. And then I just ended up getting the job, okay? But I never gave up on wanting that job. I still went after it. That's the same thing with your manifestation. You have to understand that everything is happening, everything is the verge of incidents that's happening for you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Maybe your SP needed to go on one more date to find out that they don't like anyone but you. Maybe if you keep seeing the same patterns again and again, oh, they're adding people on social media, this, that, I mean, take that as a sign that, well, at least they're single. At least they're not seeing anyone, okay? Even if you feel like they are with someone else, or there's a third party, you guys, the more you affirm, the more they start getting the ick with other people, with third parties, with whatever it may be, and they have no choice but to come to you. But you also have to change the assumption that you are being pursued. Say things like, I am romantically pursued, okay? It doesn't have to be that they go through the entire world, they have 3P after 3P after 3P until they come to you. It should not be that way, you guys. If you keep manifesting a lot of 3Ps or circumstances, you really got to take a inner look to see why that's happening, okay? You have to say things like, no one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable, I'm the only one, I'm the best option, I'm the only option, I'm the only one being romantically pursued. Add things like only, add things like we've always been together, add things like just in your mind, 3Ps don't exist, there is no competition, you are the only competition. You guys, a lot of the times when 3Ps do come about, or whatever comes about, it's a sign that you really need to be confident within yourself. And you need to understand that it doesn't matter if the most attractive person showed up to your person's door. Your person loves you so much that they would literally slam the door in their face and call you instead, hey, come over, okay? J-Lo came to my door, but I don't even like her, I want to be with you. Chris Evans came to my door, but I don't even like him, I want you and only you, okay? Tunnel vision does exist, you guys. If you have so much tunnel vision, regarding this, manifestation. Like, your SP can have tunnel vision for you and only you. I've seen people go like bonkers, head over heels for people that they didn't even initially like. This happened in my own life. The very first person that I ever dated, this was way before I knew about conscious manifestation or even manifestation at all. In the beginning, he didn't even like me. Like, he's just like, yeah, maybe one day I will like you. He actually said that. I remember that. And then, like, literally a couple months later, his thoughts started changing. His thoughts about me started changing. We ended up dating for 2 years in high school, and we reconnected like, a couple years after that, and the breakup was, not good at all. And he still told me, you're the only person I've ever truly loved. Like, yeah, things went bad, but like, you were the only one that I actually truly loved. So again, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Even if you think like your person is head over heels in love with this SP, they're getting serious, this, that, whatever circumstance, they have to find a way to get back to you. They have to find a way to fully conform. But you also have to not give up on that, not them necessarily, but that version of yourself that gets what you want. This is all about you versus you. It's not about them. It's not about anything or anyone else. You versus you. It's always going to be you versus what you're giving your attention to. I actually saw this tweet from Dylan James. I want to give him credit. It's you versus what you are focusing on. It's not you versus the 3D. It's not you versus your SP. It's you versus what you are personally focusing on. So stop focusing on that old version of themselves. Let that old version die. You got to kill that old man. Not literally, okay? Not literally, but like, the old version of you that manifested that. The old version of them, you got to see them in a new light. And you guys, the thing is, like, if you are someone that's thinking about your SP, you might as well think about them in a positive way. I think some of us have also internalized that, like, the more you think about something, the more you push it away. And that's simply not the case. If you think about it in a negative way, then yeah, it does push it away. But like, I mean, if you're spending time thinking about your SP, you might as well think about them in a positive way. But also redirect that to yourself. Why do you miss your SP so much? Why do you like your SP so much? They represent something within you that you like about you. So I mean, if you want to be loved by your SP, and you feel like there's a lot of resistance, you need to say things like, I am loved, I am loved, I am loved, I am loved. You miss your SP, I am the one being missed. I'm the one being missed. You feel like you're obsessively thinking about your SP, I am being obsessed over it. I am being obsessed over it. I am being obsessed over it. I am being obsessed over, okay? Have a couple of affirmations that you robotically affirm, okay? And then it's okay to say these other affirmations, but you got to have at least a couple of affirmations that you are sticking to daily, okay? You have to be doing this every single day. Don't do it to the point where it overwhelms yourself. It's okay to take even a day or two off, you guys. You're not going to ruin your manifestation. But you also have to, like, keep affirming, keep, at it. You have to keep at it, because I mean, it's better than thinking negative thoughts. It's better than delving into old thought patterns, right? You just got to keep going. At the end of the day, no matter what you see in the 3D, no matter what you don't see in the 3D, you got to keep going. They will conform. I promise you. I've seen this happen. I've like eliminated third parties. I've eliminated circumstances. I've seen so much movement in my own life, you guys. Reality isn't even reality. Like, I'm like literally looking outside, you guys, and there's like something in the sky that literally looks like a UFO. It's like still. It's not even moving. I know it's not a bird. I don't even know what it is, okay? Like, but you guys, sometimes things are just not as they seem, okay? You have to stop giving into the illusion that is a 3D. And you need to, like, say a couple of things to yourself so you don't end up freaking out anytime something doesn't go right in your 3D, okay? Regulate your nervous system. I always say things like, okay, this is the bridge of incidents. If you feel like, you're kind of being a little bit too delulu and, like, to the point where it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like I'm in limerence or something like that, then, make it sound a little bit believable. Like, okay, fine, your SP, you saw them do something, okay, no, it's just the bridge of incidents. It's just the bridge of incidents that's going to make them come back towards you. And once that happens, you guys, once your SP is back into your life, they're going to stay that way. So whatever is happening during this period of no contact separation, you're not with them, you're not in that desired reality, it does not matter. You have to let it go. It doesn't matter what they're doing, what they're not doing. You have to completely drop that old version of your SP so you can allow that newer, better version to come in, okay? A lot of you guys do not give the space for that new manifestation to come in because you keep replaying the old story. You keep checking the 3D. And, I will say that I know, I understand that. I'm a human. I check the 3D too. Sometimes I like what I see, sometimes I don't. But I keep going anyways. I keep going anyways. It doesn't matter. You look into your bank account, you see that you have $5. No, you have $5 million. No, you have $500. Make it a little bit more believable. But you got to keep going. I did, at one point I had like nothing in my bank account except for what my parents gave me. And now I have like 6 figures, okay? And I didn't even think it was going to happen. It ended up happening. I promise you, your manifestations, it will conform. It has no choice. It is a law. You guys are all special, but you're not the exception to a universal law, okay? Your SP is not the exception. Your whatever desires, it's not the exception. It has to conform. It has to conform. 100%. Perfectly, okay? Not just like partial confirmations. Sometimes you will start seeing partial movement, but like you will get that full movement. You will get that full movement. Also, that thing that I was looking at, okay, looks like it's a helicopter and it's like redirecting. It was like going a direction, but it was just like in the sky and it just redirected. That's the thing, you guys. When you keep affirming, you know, your SP starts thinking of you. Your desires start wanting you more. When you're applying for a job, someone gets a ping in their head, oh, I have to give this person a job. Like, you know, they start having obsessive thoughts about you. They can't get over you, okay? And again, what I was going to say, you guys, is sometimes things will partially conform. Sometimes you will get micro movements. Don't take that as breadcrumbs. I know the old you, I know the 3D people, 3D version, you know, in the 3D, you know, people that don't know about this will be like, oh, you're getting breadcrumbs. Every single movement is movement. Every single movement is movement. Don't take it as breadcrumbs. Take it as it leading to your full manifestation. Micro movements do cause macro movements. I mean, how do you think like big things happen in this world? How do you think like we have what we have? It all started with one thought, one idea, and it amplified, it multiplied. And then it, you know, we got to where we are. Even technology, that was a concept at one point. That wasn't even like implemented. That was an idea that someone had in their head. And now we're surrounded by technology. Even like, you know, revolutions and overthrowing the government. It started with one person organizing things and like, you know, it you know, gain momentum. That's the thing. You cannot lose that momentum. You cannot. You guys, even if you're like at it, you've been at this for a while, you are still building up like momentum towards your goals. Do not accept the 3D as it is. You need to detach yourself from the 3D completely, okay? Do your daily life things. Again, I'm not telling you to be delulu or like, you know, do anything like, you know, too crazy. It's like literally, you guys, this is all about keeping your own sanity in the process. You need to tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to stay sane, to be happy, okay? And you know, the more you do that, the less anger and resentment you feel. And you guys, this is why I also say you need to do self-concept so you don't feel like you're doing this just for them. This is not for them. This is for you. This is for you to get what you want. This is for you to like, you know, get all your goals, desires. This is for you to make yourself happy, okay? But again, this does require you doing self-concept. Like, I mean, not required, but like, you know, put yourself on the pedestal. Have your person meet you there. Be the prize. It will happen. Don't pay attention to time, you guys. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter like, you know, age, this, that. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. It doesn't matter. Even if you just went on like a couple of dates and you still want this person, you guys, they're probably feeling the same way as well. I know there's some people that I only met a couple of times that, you know, left a really like, you know, big impression. I know some of you haven't even like met your SP in real life. Like, guys, I was literally talking to someone who I hadn't even met. Like, you know, he's like talking to this girl online and he's like, you know, they're planning on meeting up like next month, and he's not talking to anyone else, and like that's all he's talking to, you guys. And like, you know, he's like really keen and eager to meet her, and like again, they've done nothing but like talk online, video call, face call, whatever, you know. So you guys, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you saw them once. It doesn't matter if they're a celebrity, they don't know who you are. It doesn't matter like, you know, how long it's been. It doesn't matter if it's been like weeks, years, but none of that matters. I know for some of you guys, you could be internalizing, oh, well, what if they're meeting other people, they're forgetting about me, blah blah blah. No, why are you not forgetting about them? I'm sure you're meeting other, you know, people. I'm sure you're going through things in your day-to-day life, right? So like, you know, if it's not happening for you, then that possibility exists. The fact that you still want your SP, if you want them, they want you too. Okay, you guys, every single possibility exists. It really does. And I know, but you have to stop thinking from the monkey brain, the ego mind. Sometimes, you know, when you're making a lot of progress, when you're feeling that internal shift, even your monkey mind, your ego self, you know, tries to take over to keep you safe. But here's the thing about the ego mind, you guys. The ego mind, it like, okay, it is there to keep you safe. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. But like, you know, think of like a person that is in poverty or like, you know, doesn't have that much money. Obviously they're, you know, they're not able to like surpass a certain threshold of making money because their ego mind's like, okay, well, you're not used to this, can you handle this? But like deep down they want that. Deep down, like they know that, like, hey, if I have more money, I'll, you know, I will be safe. I will have access to medical care. I will have access to, you know, things like what's there to not be safe in that? How is that not safe, you know? Yeah, so like, I mean, again, like the ego mind will do, sometimes, you guys, it's there for your good, but sometimes it's like you gotta instruct it like, no, you're actually kind of getting in the way. Stop blocking me from my desires. Okay, I don't like using the word block, but like you gotta tell yourself like, no, just no, I don't accept this. I do not accept this. You gotta tell your ego mind like, hey, get out the way. You know, the way to get the way to like surpass your ego mind is to constantly affirm, is to robotically affirm. It's to saturate your mind, and as much as you can, don't check the 3D while at it. You guys, like the fact that you even want to check the 3D when you don't have your full manifestation is also your ego mind at play. Don't give in to that monkey mind, that monkey brain, okay? You are better than that. You are more than that. If you've done this much work, you've made this much progress, you have to keep going. You just have to, okay? Not to the point where it overwhelms you. I know a lot of you could have even internalized that, okay, if I'm not affirming 24/7, then I'm losing my manifestation. That is not true at all. You guys, that is not true. Don't even have that as a belief, okay? If you need to do what you gotta do, you're at work, you're hanging out with your friends, be in the present moment, do that thing. You're not gonna lose your manifestation. If anything, the more you actually give it to the present moment, the more focused you are on whatever you need to be focusing on. That is also self-concept, and that is what manifests. Your SP is like, oh wow, well, they're focusing on this, I'm like starting to see them as like, being more magnetic and energetically attractive, okay? Even if you do like 10 minutes of like affirming a day, okay, as long as you're still like thinking positive thoughts, like again, don't just do 10 minutes and then start thinking negatively. Do 10 minutes a day, maybe every hour, whatever you need to do, and then continue. You guys, continue to think that way, okay? This only doesn't work when you're like affirming, you go on these affirmation walks, you do whatever you got to do, and then you're coming back and thinking the same old thoughts. You guys, I feel like a lot of you guys, you even came across manifestation because you really, really needed a mindset change, a mindset shift, you guys. And you have to understand that things are not working against you. I know a lot of you, like, you fall into that victim mindset. You need to get out of that victim mindset. There is no such thing. You need to stop even, like, giving credence to the fact that, like, 3Ps exist. Victim mindset exists. Circumstances exist. It just doesn't. It just, like, again, it's about you versus your awareness. What are you giving awareness to? And yeah, you guys, we live in the 3D world. You will see things that will trigger you. Maybe you'll see the name of someone that triggers you, but you have to make it work in your favor. You have to be like, okay, this is just a sign I'm getting my manifestation. This is a sign that I'm manifesting. This is a sign that it's conforming any minute, okay? You have to, like, trick your brain into, like, thinking that way. The more you think that way, the more you strengthen your neural pathway associated with that, and it manifests that much faster, okay? So yeah, again, it's you versus your awareness. Let's go over these cards really quick. I'm divinely guided and loved by the universe. That is you guys. You are the universe. You are receiving guidance from yourself. Everything that is happening, it is happening for you to get what you want. Even if, like, right now it seems like the opposite. Again, I have manifested whatever I wanted after seeing the opposite, after, like, seeing, like, something that I didn't want to happen. And then, like, that thing immediately got reversed too. I'm like, oh, okay, that thing needed to happen for me to get what I want based on the trajectory that I was on, based on what I was telling my mind. And then that thing ended up disappearing. I'm like, okay, well, we didn't need that. Okay, bye. And then we also got, I take joy in the beauty and magic I see everywhere. You guys, live your best life. Live your best life. Create, draw, inspire, hang out with your friends, okay? Take your mind off of this. You guys, taking your mind off of this for a couple hours, even for a couple days, is not going to stop this manifestation. You don't need to feel like you need to be at this 24/7. Whenever it does pop up, you guys, you do have to think positively, like, okay, yeah, this is just happening for my benefit. This is just happening for me. This is just happening. Everything that's happening from the moment I started consciously manifesting, and needed to happen for me to get what I want, and that is all, okay? Because that is what it is. Bridge of incidents, like, again, your brain, your subconscious mind has a way of things unfolding. And guys, something that I do want to say is, it's not wrong to want your SP to act a certain way. Like, I know, like, as we go throughout the day, you'll be like, oh, that's such a cute thing that this couple did for each other. I want my SP to do that. It's okay. Have a huge list of whatever you want your SP to do, but as long as you are, again, just affirming, you're repeating those affirmations, you're repeating, like, blanket affirmations, or whatever it is that you want to do, especially self-concept, they will do that. Like, that's actually good. Write down all the things you want them to do, and they will have no choice but to conform, okay? And you guys, it's okay that you don't get your full movement right away. Micro movements count. Even the littlest things count. Even seeing signs of them counts. Seeing their name counts, okay? But you have to assign a positive meaning, okay? Like, yeah, you saw their name, they're thinking of you. They're obsessively thinking about you, actually. Okay, they're always thinking about you. They do nothing but think about you. Okay, they're in their room right now thinking about what they want to text you. If you feel like they're going out with other people, that they're talking about you. They're asking advice on how to be with you. They're thinking about, like, maybe they're telling those people, like, oh my gosh, like, even if they meet other people, they can't, like, they're being reminded of you guys. Like, they're hanging out with friends, whatever. You guys, you could have heard that quote from TikTok: no matter who they're with, no matter what they're doing, they're always thinking about me. Okay, that is true. That is true. Okay, they will think about you. They could be hanging out with their friends, at like, 10, 11 p.m. at the club, instead of looking at whoever's at the club, they're checking their phone to see what you're up to. And I've had that happen. I've had people like, like literally at the club, like I would post like, maybe I was posting like stories like, pretty often, like every 20 minutes. They were the first ones to see my story. It doesn't matter what they're doing, what they're with, or who they're with, what is happening. They are always freaking thinking about you, as long as you're affirming, as long as you're, consciously manifesting for whatever it is that you do want, okay? Yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen this happen. So your SP, you guys, as much as you can, don't check the 3D until you get your full manifestation. Just see your SP in a positive light. Be detached to anything that's not your full manifestation. That is also key, you guys. Why do you keep giving in to like the littlest things? Oh my gosh, you saw their following count go up. Okay, and are they married right now? No. Okay, they're thinking about you. Oh my gosh, like, you got another rejection from that thing you applied for. Okay, well, there's someone else looking at your resume. Apply to more places. There's someone else, like, getting pings saying, like, oh, okay, this person seems really promising. Maybe someone just even likes your name. They're like, oh, wow, that's a really cool name. I kind of want to look at their resume. You don't know what's going on in people's minds, you guys. You don't know what's going on in the 4D, the 5D, but you got to trust that whatever is happening for you to get what you want. You really, really, really have to have faith in that, okay? I know, like, it feels weird, and a lot of you are just like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like Delulu, I feel crazy. Yeah, because, you've grown up with, like, just sticking to the 3D. You grew up, like, just saying, like, okay, yeah, what you see is what you get, and that's just not true at all. That is so not true. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was recently hanging out with, a friend of mine. He's a male, and it looked like we were on a date. Entire time, he was talking about his ex. He wanted to ask me a tarot reading to see what was going on with his ex. And he was telling me that he had dated like multiple people after his ex. He had like gone out on at least 10 dates, okay? Still never got over his ex. He still thinks about her to this day. And it's like, it's been a year since they've like dated. And, like apparently she even blocked him on social media. He still thinks about her. Okay, like we did like 3 different tarot readings for him, like using different cards to see what is going on in this connection. Again, he went out with 10 different people, still not over her, okay? And you guys, I deal with clients, you guys, okay? Like some of you guys, like even for me, like, I've gone out with people, I still never got over that one special person, but you have to understand you are that special person for your SP. It doesn't matter how long it's been since you've talked. It doesn't matter, like, even if things ended on bad terms, okay? Like that's the thing, even if things ended up on bad terms, or whatever the circumstance may be, you have to understand that they're only thinking the positives of you. You really, really have to give more credence and attention and awareness to the positive things, to the things that you did do right, to the things that they did right. And who knows, like maybe like that bad thing needed to happen for them to come around even better and stronger than ever. Maybe they're just like, yeah, like I'm glad you kind of said that. It kind of kicked things into gear for me. Okay. It doesn't matter, you guys. It really, whatever happened, circumstances don't matter. Okay. I know some people that after years, have hit up their exes. And I know a lot of you guys, you could internalize that. Oh my gosh, in today's day and age, there's so many people. It's easy to access people with just like, the click of like, something on social media, this, that. None of that matters. Okay. And so what? Yeah. I have a lot of people on my social media. I met a lot of attractive people. My mind was still focused on like, the one person that I was trying to manifest. That's the same thing with your SP. At the end of the day, they only see you. They only think about you. They only want to be with you. Again, the thing is when you affirm for, whatever it is that you're affirming, especially, self-concept, let's say, they're with the 3P. Let's say, they're on a date. Let's say you saw that, okay, they're on a date. They posted on their story post, whatever. They get the ick. They literally get the ick. This has happened to me even a couple of times. I was with someone that I thought I really liked, and I kind of started getting the ick. I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I like this person anymore. Okay, same with like your SP. If you think they're with someone, yeah, no, well, they're okay, and they don't like them. They're not in love with them. Why? Because they're still thinking about you. Their mind and heart still goes to you. And I know a lot of you are just like, okay, well, if that's the case, why haven't they reached out? They will reach out. They will reach out. You guys, think of how many times you had the biggest crush on someone and you didn't want to reach out because you were scared that maybe they were seeing someone else, or you were scared of their response, or you were scared that it's been too long. You were scared that they think you're creepy. You were scared that they wouldn't reciprocate your feelings, okay? That's why, for a lot of you guys, you have to say affirmations like, I am romantically pursued. I am pursued. I am always hit up first. I am texted first. I always receive contact, okay? Make it about you. And I would say as much as you can, don't reach out to them first. Fine, you want to check the 3D, do all that, but, just as much as you can, like, let them pursue you. Let them pursue you. And, use your own intuition and guidance, okay? Like if you feel like, okay, yeah, they're coming back, they're pursuing me, but you still like, like you don't feel like things are 100% where they want it to be, then, do things with discernment. Like, okay, yeah, we're talking, yeah, nothing wrong with talking, maybe don't like, get intimate with them, maybe don't do anything with them until they fully conformed, okay, until you get that full commitment. Okay, don't overdo things. I know a lot of you guys, you're givers, you care about people, you do a lot for people, you've like probably gotten gifts for people, you've given your time, energy, effort. Now is the time for you to receive, okay? I feel like, just maybe from a spiritual perspective, you were meant to meet this person for you to understand that it's time for you to receive finally, okay? Nothing wrong with giving, but let this person come back, let that job opportunity find you, and then you can do, whatever you need to, like, you should be the ones, like, matching their energy, matching their actions, okay? It doesn't matter if you're dealing with the most stubborn person ever, you're dealing with the most feminine person ever that just doesn't, like, take, or like, a lot of people will be like, oh, men these days are so feminine, they don't approach you first, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if, again, if they're stubborn. It doesn't matter if, like, you feel like, oh yeah, they're just like, they're like this, they're like that, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they were. You need to change your concept of them. And you guys, the more you affirm, the more things shift. I have seen people change their minds. I've seen people go from like literal, like horrible people to be around. Like, I think like probably like, someone I knew had like narcissistic tendencies to being like the most pleasant person to be around, to being like the most amazing person like ever. And like, I look to him as like, okay, wow, like, this is like an example of what a good man should be. Okay, I have seen people change with my own eyes. I have seen it happen. People can and do change. You just need to change it. You guys, I remember watching this video of like, one manifestation coach saying that, especially if you're dealing with like a male SP, this can apply to anyone, again, even if you're dealing with the most pig-headed, stubborn person, when you affirm, what happens to them is like, they kind of start having this internal battle within themselves. They're just like, wait, like, I know I said this, but now I'm starting to change my mind. And they do start changing their mind. They do start seeing things in a different light. They do start like even, kind of going back on things. You guys, I've seen people backtrack all the time. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's crazy to think that like, change doesn't happen. Like even for you, maybe there were certain things that you were steadfast on and you're just like, what, I completely changed my mind. I will say, there was a place that I used to love getting food at that I no longer get food at because I don't support that place and what they're doing. I used to like, really, really, even like, I tried not to be judgy as much, but like, there were certain people that like, I would see in a certain way. I'm like, okay, why are they like this? Like, why are they, I don't know that I like them. And then I'm like, wait, like I completely agree with them. They were 100% right, actually. I went through certain things in my life that were life-changing and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, this person was right. Like, yeah. I started agreeing with this person and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I was the one that was being a little bit too harsh or something like that. You guys, it doesn't matter. It does not matter what you saw, what they said, what they did. It doesn't matter what you're seeing right now, okay? I don't want to keep telling you that there's a time lag in the 3D, this, that. At the end of the day, you just need to understand that like whatever is happening, as long as you're consciously manifesting, you're not giving up, it is all a bridge of incidents, okay? But to keep your own sanity, okay, try to just, not check the 3D too much. Just distract yourself. Do whatever you need to. Your SP will be there, okay? Again, the more you do self-concept, the easier it even gets to like, get back up. Like if something like knocks you down, you get back up. Oh my gosh, that Carrie Hilson song. If it knocks you down, you get back up. Okay, I'm not gonna sing, I don't know how to sing, but yeah, like, that's the thing, like I recently went through something that kind of triggered me in the 3D, and like back in the day, I would have probably spent like days ruminating about it, but now I'm just like, wait, like, I was fine after like literally like a couple of hours. I just needed to take like a quick little nap. I'm like, okay, you know what? I feel much better. And, I even manifested like seeing a video that was like, that was really helpful and that what I needed, which is why, I make these videos, because I know that some of you guys just need a little bit of encouragement. But you guys, once you get past this, once you get in that dominant state of having what you want, you guys, you won't go back. It won't revert. I promise you. But right now, if you don't have it, you just need to do a little bit of more work to like be in that dominant state of having it. But for me, you guys, I'm in the dominant state of being financially stable. I have never once had to worry about money or finances. Not once. A lot of the time, I don't even like look at the bill twice. I'm just like, okay, it cost this much. Great. Big deal. Like I used to do like mental math, mental calculation. I'm like, I don't care. I have enough money. I'm abundant. And it's true. That's not even me being delusional. I can pay my rent. I can travel to like different countries. Okay. But you guys, you really, really have to understand that you are the prize here. Okay. Like, stop thinking that, oh, I can't live without this person. I can't live without this, that. They are you. They are you. They're within you all the times. You just need to invoke that self, invoke that version of yourself that gets what you want. Okay. You're not manifesting them. You're not manifesting whatever you want. You're manifesting yourself through them. Okay. And persistence is key, you guys. Persistence is key. And as much, if you need to take a break from social media, okay, I'm not saying you need to delete your account, but you need to mute certain people. You need to not watch certain people, certain stories. You need to kind of get back, get yourself to where you want to be. Or you need to do whatever you need to do to get yourself to where you want to be, even if it's just temporary, you guys, then do it. Then do it. If you need to kind of just like, take some time to yourself, just spend some time to yourself, that is okay. Obviously, like, don't fall into that state where that's all you're doing. Like, it's okay to have bad days, just, don't stay in them for too long, I guess, but sometimes it's okay. Maybe that's just your nervous system saying like, hey, I needed this reset so we can come back even better and stronger than ever. Okay. I know sometimes, like, when I saw the opposite in my 3D, it made me go even ham. It made me like go even harder, and it made me like expedite things. Maybe you needed to see that thing on social media for you to like go even harder, for it to expedite your manifestations. Because I know for a lot of you guys, you could have internalized the mindset that, okay, like, I'm so stubborn that if someone tells me I can't have it, then I have to have it. I have to fight for it, okay? But again, it's not you fighting that thing. It's you fighting something within you. It's you fighting your ego mind. If you want something, you go after it. You don't give up, okay? Don't give up. Just keep going after it. If all you need to do is self-concept, then do that. Do that. Again, I'm not saying like, keep affirming for your SP. If you're getting exhausted, you're just like, I don't even know what to do anymore. I don't even know if I want this person. They've triggered me too much. You still gotta keep doing self-concept. Something will come about. You guys, there have been times where I have dropped certain SPs because I'm like, I don't know that I want them. My self-concept was like too good at that point. I'm like, okay, whatever, I wish them the best, but I don't want them. And I ended up manifesting other better SPs, okay? So, but if there's someone that you really want and you don't, you don't want to give up, then just keep doing self-concept, you guys. And do it for yourself. Don't do it for you to get them. Do it to feel good within yourself. Do it to calm yourself down, okay? And the rest will follow. The rest will follow. You guys, they have to conform. I am not even kidding when I say, like, it is like, as long as you're at this, and, I don't want to give time frames. And for a lot of you guys, stop internalizing that it takes a long time. Nothing needs to take a long time, okay? It doesn't. It's not supposed to take years, you guys. I don't think I've ever, like, it's never taken me more than like a couple of months to manifest my SP, even if we were in no contact, even if they weren't watching my stories, you guys. I think at some point I did have an SP who literally muted my stories, and I'm like, this guy doesn't even know what I'm doing. Has he forgotten about me? And, he was adding, he's a pretty social person. Like, he was adding a lot of people on social media, was going around making friends, still thought of me, still never, like, still was thinking about me, like, the entire time. I've had multiple people do this, multiple people that came back from the past, and I'm just like, they're following, like, thousands of people on social media. They're very social. They're going out every day, and, like, they're still watching me. They're still watching my stories. They're still seeing what I'm up to, okay? It doesn't matter what you see in the 3D, you guys. It is all an illusion. If you don't like what you see in the 3D, you gotta keep going. Who knows? It could be like, social media is a problem in your relationship. Something could happen where, okay, your person's account gets hacked and they need to start anew, and they're not gonna add those people that, you didn't want to see added. You're not gonna have, like, those problems. It's just, they'll delete whoever they need to. They will walk away from whoever they need to. They will, you guys, they will reflect back to whatever you want them to show up as, whatever you want them. And do not hesitate to ask for the most, okay? You want them to do, whatever you want them to do, stand firm on that. Stand on business, okay? Whatever your boundaries and standards are, don't settle on those. Even if they seem crazy to other people, don't settle. Do whatever it is that you want. For a lot of you guys, you're not really asking anything from anyone that you're not giving yourself or that you wouldn't do to other people. So what is wrong in wanting that in other people? If you're a good, kind, loyal person, you're respectful towards your partner, then then what's wrong in asking that, okay? But don't guilt yourself into doing that. You guys, nothing is too big. And, something that I want to tell you is that, like, again, as you're manifesting your SP, if you're getting all these other thoughts, like, okay, well, I want them to do this. I want them to do that. Again, make a list. It's okay. You want them to go on a trip with you? Yeah, do that. But, for a lot of you guys, I know you're manifesting something long-term and committed with your SP. So, even the fact that you're getting these ideas, like, oh, I got this idea that I want us to go on a trip. I got this idea that, like, oh, when we're together, like, we're going to go to this cute little fair or something like that, that's a sign that it's working, and that's not pushing them away. Okay, I think, like, some people have internalized that, oh my gosh, so, like, if I keep thinking of these things about SP, I'm thinking of these romantic things, I keep seeing the opposite in the 3D. That's just a belief that you have, and you have to, like, not internalize that belief. You have to realize that, you guys, whatever is happening in the 3D is, it's getting you to where you want to be. I will say, even if you affirm for your SP and you only affirm for your SP, you'll still get them. I mean, like, yeah, you might see a lot of stuff happen in the 3D, and again, this depends on your belief. As long as, you're doing mostly self-concept or even all self-concept, you will get what you want. Like, I know for me, when I only affirmed for an SP, like, this is just my experience. Like, my self-concept wasn't really at that point where, I could only affirm for that. So maybe I did start having, some resistance, right? But, like, you guys, the best way to break resistance is persistence. You have to persist, especially self-concept, okay? And again, your SP has no choice but to conform. And if you don't like certain things that you're seeing in the 3D, you're just like, I want my SP back, but I don't want them to see other people, then, like, just tell yourself that no one compares to me. I'm irreplaceable. I'm the only one. I'm the only option, okay? You'll see, again, they'll get icks if you feel like there's someone that's going on dates, and you just gotta change your perception of them, okay? Just see them as, like, okay, they're not like, they're not for the streets. They're not like, whatever, like, you think they are. Like, no, they're not players. They're actually only into me and only me. They only have eyes for me. They're doing whatever they want to be with me. They understand, they value, like, again, that all goes back to I am valued. You guys, the reason why, maybe you're seeing whatever you're seeing is because you yourself don't feel valued or appreciated. So you need to say things like, I am valued, I am prioritized, I am chosen, I have always been chosen, okay? I am the only one. I am the only and best option, okay? All right, just again, I am chosen. And, like, that thing, it'll stop happening. They'll stop, like, like, they'll be like, you know what? I'm exhausted. I want to delete these dating apps. This is not working. I'm actually really, I just don't want to be on them anymore. Even for me, you guys, like, I came to a point where I deleted them. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is frustrating. I'm not meeting anyone, of quality. And, like, that's the exact thoughts that, they're going to start getting. Like, yeah, I'm just not meeting quality people. I have no choice but to, like, then they have no choice but to pursue you. And you guys, again, you created everything. You created them, doing that, and you can uncreate them. And it's not, I know a lot of you guys are just like, okay, like, maybe you take mirroring too literally, because I know sometimes it does happen that, they start mirroring you, whatever is going on in your life, they start doing that. Maybe if you're on the apps, they'll be on the apps. No, it doesn't matter. You can even be on the apps, you can even seek other options, but they'll be all about you, like, it doesn't matter, okay? Like, I mean, seriously, don't be afraid to ask for, whatever it is that you want. Like, I know a lot of you do want your SPs, and you're not about that game playing. You're just like, I just want my SP. But a lot of you guys are just like, okay, should I date other people, this, that? I mean, it's up to you to do whatever it is that you want. Maybe if that decreases resistance, then fine, go on dates, do whatever happens. I know when I was manifesting an SP, when I was manifesting commitment with my SP, another person came in. This was not an SP, but, like, started reflecting back to me verbatim what I wanted my SP to say. And he asked me to be his girlfriend. And he said, like, will you be my girlfriend? And at that point, it had been a while since I've gotten that offer. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I know my SP is next. I know my SP is next. And the thing ended up happening. Okay? So, I mean, if you want to date other people, it's completely fine. But you guys, if you do see people coming back, exes, people from the past coming back, whatever, you want your SP, you're seeing it happen to other people, or other people are doing that to you, it's all a sign that it's working. And, do not give up. The thing is, you have to keep that momentum going. Momentum is the most powerful force, okay? And again, for a lot of you guys, your situation isn't even that bad. It's just literally, it could be that they're seeing other people, whatever, but, like, they're not married, right? Like, even for those of you guys, they are married, they're getting engaged, things could break off, things could fall off any minute, okay? You guys, your person could drop things any minute and, like, come back towards you. Like, they could be like, I've been craving your energy. Again, what happens when you think about your SP, when you manifest for your SP, is they start thinking about you. Even if they said, like, I will never, speak to you again, they have this internal battle in their mind that are just like, wait, like, maybe I was harsh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, I'm actually starting to change my mind. They'll start seeing the good things that you did for them. Like, again, for a lot of you guys, like, maybe you're underestimating just how much this person really likes you and wants to be with you, and, like, because you haven't seen that much movement in the 3D. But again, you don't know what's happening in people's minds, and again, you also have to just change your perception of them. And by changing your perception of yourself, that I'm always pursued, it doesn't matter, no one is stubborn, no one in my reality is stubborn except me, okay? Like, that's what you have to say. Actually, even you have to let go of your own stubbornness. The reason someone else is being stubborn is because maybe you're being stubborn in their stubbornness. Like, oh, they're so stubborn. Stop even calling them stubborn. Be like, nah, like, they're the most, like, they're like the biggest simps. They love me so much. They're like the easiest to change. SPs are so easy to manifest. That's also something you need to tell yourself, you guys, because I know a lot of you, you're just like, oh, I manifested things in other aspects of my life. I manifested so much career success, like, work success, family success, this, that, it's just my SP, it's just my love life. That is a belief that you have. You know, you need to tell yourself, no, people are the easiest things to manifest, because they really are, you guys. I mean, honestly, they're just you. If okay, if anything, I would even say, like, sometimes they are easier to manifest than, like, some of the other things that you guys are, manifesting for. I don't want to, like, put limiting beliefs, but, like, seriously, you guys, SPs, they're not that hard to manifest. They really are not. I manifested, like, pretty much every single person that I wanted. Okay, they came back. Sometimes I realized, okay, I didn't really want them back, but like, it's a lot easier than you're giving it credit for. And give yourself more credit, and give the universe, give the 3, the 4D, the 5D. Again, this is all just you. Give all of that credit. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself, and say whatever you need to do, whatever you need to calm yourself down. Like, okay, bridge of incidents. BOI, boy. Sometimes, like, boy, that was easy. Sometimes if I see something triggering, I'm like, no, that's just the bridge of incidents. No, like, they added someone on social media. Yeah, that's because, like, I have this, like, client that I'm working with, and, like, a lot of the examples, you guys, I give, I do give, based off of what I'm seeing, like, with my clients, and just what I'm seeing happening. Okay, like, obviously without, like, sharing, like, details in their names, but I do have a client that I'm working with right now, that, like, her SP lives, like, far, like, in a different state. And like, she, like, decided to, like, delete, like, just unfollow him, and yeah, I guess he unfollowed her too. And like, she sees on his social media that, like, oh my god, like, he keeps adding people, this, that. So I told her, like, yeah, he's adding people to be with you. He added, like, a realtor, okay, that's gonna help him find a house in the state that you live at. He added a professional connection, okay, on social media, and maybe they ended up becoming friends because they're helping that person get to you. Maybe it's, like, someone that, like a coworker or someone, or, like, you guys, when you start affirming, 8 billion people will have to move if they need to, for you to get what you want. Everything will move for you to get what you want. Okay, so I mean, I told her, you literally just need to think that, okay, every single person he's adding on social media, since you can't see it anyways, it's not like a girl, okay, or even if it is a woman, even if it is a girl, whatever, it's someone that's gonna help him get a job in your area. It's someone that's gonna make him realize that he likes you the most, whoever it is. Okay, or, like, everyone that he talks to, everyone that, like, he's around, is just making him miss you more. Okay, and then, like, she like, that's, I told her to think from that perspective, and like, she noticed that, like, oh my god, like, he changed, like, he had, like, the state that he lived in on his profile, and he, like, removed that, like, she's just like, oh my gosh, this could be a sign that, like, he's moving to where I live. And I gave this example in another one of my videos, but, like, his background, like, his profile picture was, the background of, like, the state that she lives in, because he had visited that, he had visited, the state that she lived in at some point. And it looks like he's, living in her state, and, like, she knows that if they were together in the same state, in the same place, they would have dated. Like, I feel like he even kind of implied that, that would have happened. And, like, you guys, like, again, I told her, every single thing that you're seeing, it's the bridge of incidents. Okay, like, don't let your imagination go haywire. You literally just have to, like, keep persisting, have faith. Okay, don't give up on your manifestations. Don't give up on anything. And you guys, you have to get out of that victim circumstance, that victim mindset, that victim mentality. Okay, it's not happening to you, it's all happening for you. You need to stop getting bogged down. Again, I know sometimes you can see things that really trigger you, and I know, like, in that moment, even for, like, a couple of minutes after that, maybe even a couple of hours, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset. But then you got to do something to pick yourself up. Again, take a nap, go for a walk, do something to get your mind off of that. Okay, and then you'll get clarity. That's the thing, you guys. Like, sometimes when I've seen, like, negative things happen, trust when I say trust. Like, a couple weeks later, like, that thing would have just gone away. Like, this has happened with, like, 3Ps or whatever, like, immediately just went away, like, they never even connected. Okay, and, like, maybe I got perspective on that, like, oh, I this happened, but, like, entire time, like, this was happening for this other thing to happen. Okay, and I know a lot of you guys, you just want a peaceful bridge of incidents. That's also something you should manifest. Yeah, my bridge of incidents is so peaceful, things only happen the way that I want them to happen. Okay, my 3D still, like, I'm at peace. I'm always at peace, I'm always happy no matter what. This is all about you. This is all about, like, you versus you, and you versus what you're giving your attention and awareness to. Okay, and I'm not saying, like, tolerate things that happen. Okay, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just tolerating. Like, no, like, you guys, when you, like, just stop giving into, like, certain things, and, like, stop reacting to certain things, those things go away. Like, the more you, like, take back your attention from that thing, from those thoughts, from whatever happened, from the past circumstances, from the past version of your SP. It has no place in your reality. You literally cannot manifest what you don't think about. It has no place in your brain, and therefore your 3D reality. Okay, and again, if you find that hard to do, affirming in your favor is going to reverse all that. Okay, it really does, and things work really fast too. And you guys, the thing is, it's all natural. It's not like your SP thinks you're manipulating them or manifesting. No, your SP is just like, wait, I'm like getting so many thoughts about this person, you know. I have to reach out to them. I have to see something. Maybe it'll like you don't like you don't have to think about the how, but maybe they'll reach out to you and ask you a question like, oh, you know, I'm coming to your place, what do you recommend doing? And you know, things like, and for a lot of you guys, you're just like, my circumstances seem impossible. It doesn't matter, you guys. People have manifested things from like what was deemed impossible. There's like new scientific discoveries, breakthroughs happening all the time. You gotta believe it can happen for you. I mean, just until like, I don't even know the year, but like up until recently, like, you know, scientists really thought that the brain wasn't malleable in your adulthood. Your brains could only change, you know, in your childhood years, and like that was actually proven to be false. Sometimes even things that like, you know, science has said, you know, has been proven to be false. And you know, I remember once getting a tarot reading where, you know, the tarot reader was just like, wait, you were right and I was wrong. Actually, your SP like does love you and they do want to be with you, and like that ended up getting reflected. Okay, things can change, but they can only change when you change, and when you change your perception of things, and when you like, you know, just tell yourself like, no, everything that's happening is happening for me. And you know, just again, I know it can be tough. I know it can be like, you know, frustrating. I know when you're really attached to something or someone, like, you know, you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm really going through it. Like, I'm going through all the emotions. You start thinking about the past. You start thinking about like very specific things. Oh, when did they do this? When did they see my story? When, you know, when did they add me? Whatever, you know, like stop, like liberate yourself from that. Okay, start thinking about the future. I remember reading this one quote that said like, you know, you cannot, something about like just not, you know, thinking about the old and just like thinking about the future. It'll come to me at some point. But actually, if you just look up Gaia on YouTube and you look up like Gaia brain, I think it's one of the first videos. But the thing is, you have to focus on the future. You have to focus on that desired reality, that desired version. Stop focusing so much on the past. Okay, sometimes the past will pop up. You got to tell yourself, nope, well, this is not going to be my future. It doesn't matter what they said, what they did. Doesn't matter, like, you know, that we're not even talking right now. I know they're going to be the best husband. I know they're going to be the best wife. I know they're going to be the best, like, you know, people to be around. Okay, and it does work, you guys. Well, I'm telling you, this does not need to take a long time. Okay, and once you get into that dominant state, like, you stay there. Again, I got into the dominant state of being financially stable. I'm not worried one bit. Okay, because like, you know, I got into the dominance, like even with the economy and everything else going on, I still have my money, I still have my finances. I'm actually looking for like, you know, a bigger like actually place to like, you know, live in and stuff. Okay, so I mean, seriously, if I can do that, you can do that. Okay, some things you might need to work at a little bit more, you know, than others if you have more resistance to it. Again, I don't really like using the word resistance, but for the purposes of this video, but you do eventually get through it. You do eventually, like, you know, break through it. And you know, once you're in that dominant state, you guys, like, nothing can like stop. Like, again, momentum, once that like momentum is in play, you cannot stop it. Okay, something that is in motion will stay in motion. The only way like things will stop is if you completely just give up, and even then sometimes it still ends up happening. They do still end up coming back. Okay, but something that is in motion literally cannot stop. Like, you know how like you have like a craving for food or something, or like, you know, maybe you have to like go to the bathroom or something, and you're just like, I will do whatever it takes to do that. Like, you know, I will rush, and you know, like you end up doing that. You know, when you have like a desire for something, you're like, nothing can stop me. Like, I need to do this thing right now, right? Like, that's exactly how your SP is gonna feel about you. I need to contact this person. Like, I'm gonna like blow up if I don't. Like, you know, they'll like start having dreams about you, seeing signs about you. They'll like wake up in the middle of the night, see what you're doing, seeing what you're up to. Doesn't matter how stubborn you think they are. Even if you're just like, yeah, no, they'll never do that again. Yeah, no, like, you know, they block me. Guys, people unblock people all the time. I've like blocked people that I felt like unblocking. Okay, like, I mean, seriously, like, it doesn't matter, you know, even if you're not connected, even if you're just like, yeah, well, you know, they're not the type of person that, you know, would watch my stories because, like, you know, they have like too much ego or this or too much pride. It doesn't matter how much pride they have. It doesn't matter how stubborn they are. No, they don't. Once you affirm, like, they will conform. They have to conform. There is no choice. Okay, again, they're not the exception to a universal law. You're not the exception to universal law. But it really, you guys, the more you affirm, the more you saturate your mind, the more you like let go of the past and start thinking of this beautiful new future, they have no choice but to conform. Okay, they just, I know I said that a million times, but it is true. And I do want to let you know there is a self-concept challenge going on my Patreon. So if that's something that you want to join, so the self-concept challenge, I give you self-concept affirmations to manifest your specific person and keep them. And we also simultaneously have a science challenge going on where we get together as a group and collectively manifest for each other, okay, thus amplifying and accelerating our individual manifestations. And I also, like, whenever I see success stories, because I do see a lot of like SP success stories from Reddit, like, I will post them, and I will post like helpful tips, or anything. If you guys like have any questions, you have direct access to me, just ask me questions on there. And yeah, if you want to be part of a group with like-minded people that's manifesting the same goals and desires, then do join the Patreon. The link to that will be in the description box below. Patreon.com/enchanted444. And yeah, I will go ahead and end the video right here. I intend that every single person here gets their manifestations to full fruition, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much.